अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथ अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथ कमलनयना हे माधवा अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथ कमलनयना हे माधवा करुणासागर कालियनर्तन करुणासागर कालियनर्तन हे कृपा सिंधु कृष्णा हे कृपा सिंधु अनंत रूपा अनंत नामा आदिमूला नारायण वे विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वेश्वर हे नारायणा विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वेश्वर हे नारायणा भवभयहरणा दीनोद्धरणा भवभयहरणा दीनोद्धरणा हे दया सिंधु कृष्णा हे दया सिंधु अनंत रूपा अनंत नामा आदिमूला नारायणा आदिमूला नारायणा कल्याण सुंदर रामा कारुण्य जानकी रामा कल्याण सुंदर रामा कारुण्य जानकी रामा पीतांबरधर दशावतारा रामा दशमुखमर्दन रामा भक्तसुधामा रामा भक्तप्रियङ्कर भक्तसुधामा रामा भक्तप्रियङ्कर कारुण्य जानकी रामा कल्याण सुन्दर रामा कारुण्य जानकी रामा पीताम्बरधर रामा भयभीति विभञ्जन रामा भयभीति विभञ्जन रामा श्री राम जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम So yesterday we had seen Sampati giving the information about the whereabouts of Sita Mata. Jambavan asked every monkey, and nobody was confident of crossing the ocean of 800 miles. Finally, Jambavan comes to Hanuman. Hanuman was also sitting quietly in a corner. Jambavan said, Hanuman, you are an embodiment of strength, of wisdom. There is nothing which is impossible for you. But even these statements did not make any effect upon Hanuman. Then Bhagavan said, Jambavan said, what did he say? Hanuman, have you forgotten? You are born to serve the Lord. So the moment Hanumanji heard this, he started growing huge, like a mountain, shining like gold. Then what did he say? Jambavan, what is it that you want me to do? Crossing over this ocean? It is just a puddle of water. It is a small thing. If you instruct me, I will cross over the ocean, kill that Ravana along with his entire army. I will uproot the entire Trikuta mountain and bring the whole Lanka here. Tell me what I am supposed to do. So Jambavan said, no, Hanuman, you don't have to do all that. You have to just carry the message of Bhagavan to Sita Mata. That's all you need to do. The rest Bhagavan will do. Crossing over the ocean. Fighting with the Ravanas, etc. All that Bhagavan will do. You have to do only this much because there is a higher plan. What is the purpose? In this way, Bhagavan's glory will be manifested in the world. The great rishis like Narada Rishi, etc. will see the glory of the Lord. And these glories will in turn develop devotion for God in the hearts of a common man. And this devotion is absolutely essential for crossing over this birth-death cycle. So the purpose is to liberate the masses. So when Hanumanji heard this, he was very happy. So this way, Sundara Kanda begins. So first let us chant the invocation verse. Atulita baladhamam Hema Shailabhadeham Danujavana Krishanam Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Guna Nidhanam Vanaranamadhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami. Together, Atulita Baladhamam Hema Shailabhadeham Danujavana Krishanam Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Guna Nidhanam Vanaranamadhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami. Yes. So Hanumanji prostrates in front of all the monkeys present there. And he tells them, just wait for me. The very fact that my heart is filled with inspiration, joy, this itself shows that I will definitely succeed. So you wait here, eating roots, fruits, etc. Very soon I will come back. So remembering the Lord, he climbed upon that hillock. What is the name of that hillock? Mahendrachala. Okay, Mahendrachala mountain. He climbed and then he leapt. And it is said here, the force with which he leapt was so strong that this Mahendrachala mountain was pushed back. You know, there is something called recoil force. It was so strong that it went into Patala Loka. So, anyway, Hanumanji launched himself, leapt, and now Hanumanji is flying. What is the comparison made? He flew like the arrow of the Lord. That means Hanumanji was absolutely like an instrument in the hands of the Lord. Just like everything regarding the arrow, the speed, the direction, the target, everything is determined by the shooter. In the same way, as far as Hanumanji was concerned, he was an absolute perfect instrument in the hands of the Lord. There was absolutely no arrogance, no ahankara, no mamakara at all. Right, so what is the first obstacle he came across? The Mainaka mountain, sent by Varuna Devata or Samudra Devata. So Mainaka mountain offered its help. Hanumanji, take rest and go. It's a long journey. So what did Hanumanji say? No. Till Bhagavan's work is done, there is no rest for me. So first obstacle was over. The second one is Surasa. So who was sent by Surasa? Who sent Surasa? The Devatas. They wanted to test Hanumanji, his buddhi and bala, his wisdom, his strength. So Surasa came in front of him. Hanumanji understood this, a test. So then Surasa started opening her mouth. Hanumanji became bigger and bigger. Her mouth also became bigger and bigger. Finally Hanumanji understood this will go on and on and on. There won't be any end. So he became small, entered into her mouth, came out and left. Surasa also blesses Hanumanji. Now here, this episode is a very interesting episode. Surasa opening the mouth, Hanumanji becoming bigger, and this going on and on and on. Finally, Hanumanji becoming small. So what is the buddhi of Hanumanji there? You see, in life, there are many times when you have to become small. Sometimes there are times when you have to bow down in order to conquer. You see, people with big egos can never do this. Sometimes you have to lose the smaller battle in order to win the bigger battle. So what happens with these egoistic people? They get so caught up in the smaller battle that they totally forget about the bigger battle and they lose the bigger battle. This is what generally happens with egoistic people. So Hanumanji was ready to become small. That was his buddhi. He was never forgetting the bigger picture. The purpose of my journey is not to win over Surasa. The purpose of my journey is, there is a bigger purpose. So he never lost focus. There are so many examples where we lose the bigger picture and get caught up in the smaller one. So many examples are given. In Mahabharata itself, there is a story of Arjuna being challenged by a Kshatriya king. So that was a time when Chakravyuha was made. And the only person who could pierce that Chakravyuha, enter and successfully return, the only person who could do it was Arjuna, because he only knew that how to do. So then Dronacharya said, as long as Arjuna is there, this Chakravyuha will not work. So someone has to distract the attention of Arjuna. So there comes a not very famous, ordinary Kshatriya king. He comes and challenges Arjuna. Come, fight with me. And every time Arjuna would go there, he would return. Again he would challenge. Krishna said, Arjuna, what are you doing? You have a bigger purpose here. You are the only one who can penetrate this vyuha. And you are getting distracted. But then Arjuna said, no, Krishna, once a Kshatriya is challenged, he must accept that challenge. That is the swadharma of a Kshatriya. Krishna kept quiet. The rest you know what happened. There was nobody there to pierce this vyuha. Finally, who comes? Abhimanyu comes. He said, see, I know how to penetrate, but I don't know how to come out. So then others said, don't worry, we are all there. The moment you penetrate, we all will enter into. And then we will save you. You just penetrate, that's all what we need. Abhimanyu entered, but by the time Abhimanyu entered, the vyuha was closed. The Pandavas could not enter. And finally, we know the story. Abhimanyu died there. It was a mistake from Arjuna which caused his son's life. So this is what I'm trying to say is this. You must always keep the bigger picture in mind. Whatever you do. I was once called, this happened in Mysore, for a talk. It was a 7 days talk. So one chief guest, he was an IAS officer, he was called. So he was supposed to speak for 10 minutes. Do you know how much he spoke? How long he spoke? He spoke for around 55 minutes. Chits were being passed to him. Sir, your time is over. Sir, your time is over. Sir, please wind up. Please wind up. He was in full glory. Because he was so caught up with what he was saying that he forgot that, where he was speaking. If you are asked to speak for 10 minutes, speak only for 10 minutes. Because there are so many other speakers lined up. You are not the only one. But this person gets so emotional, so carried away by the topic, he just forgot that sense of time. He was a very senior officer in government office. I don't know what kind of work he must be doing there. This much control if you don't have. How much to speak? Finally, a person went there, caught hold of him. When Swamiji was organizing the talk, he literally went, caught hold. Sir, enough, please come. You get so caught up in the small that you forget the bigger picture. In our student life also this used to happen, Suppose 100 minutes, 100 marks. There's a test paper. So for every mark, how much time should I spend? 1 minute. So if it is a 5-mark question, how much time should I write the answer? 5 minutes, isn't it? But suppose the question is such that I know so many things and I go on writing 15, 20, 30 minutes. What will happen? You will have no time for other questions. This generally used to happen. You get so carried away with the smaller. We forget about the bigger picture. There is a saying, you win the argument and in the process you lose a relationship. You are so caught up in winning the argument, arguing, and finally what happened? The relationship is gone. So this needs tremendous amount of buddhi there. What is my role in a place? What am I supposed to do? You know how these people, they catch monkeys. So it is said, they have these roasted peanuts. So near some lake, etc., where monkeys come to drink water, they hang these bottles. And the mouth of the bottle is such that the open palm enters into the bottle, but the closed fist never comes out. So in such a way that mouth is designed. And then they put this roasted peanut. So the monkeys come and they get this smell. They come to this bottle. These bottles are hanging from the tree. What do? They put their hand. No, peanut is there. They pull out. Will it come? The closed fist doesn't come out. And now these people are coming to catch them. Now what these monkeys have to do? Drop the peanut and run. They are not able to drop the peanut. You see? Now which is bigger, a handful of peanut or your life? They are not able to take that decision. Finally, easily, they catch hold of all these monkeys. The point is this: there are times when we have to sacrifice the lower in order to gain the higher. In the war also sometimes it happens. Sometimes you have to retreat. You have to go back. It's not always offense, not always attacking. Sometimes you have to retreat. So this was what was tested in Hanumanji. If he were to be an egoistic person, he would have gone with it. Bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. Hanumanji immediately became small. He understood that I'm wasting time here. I have no time. Became small, entered the mouth because he had promised her that I will enter your mouth, and then escaped. Surasa blesses Hanumanji, saying that Hanuman, now I understand you are truly an embodiment of wisdom and strength. My blessings are with you. She blesses him. Hanumanji continues. And what is the third obstacle? The third obstacle is Simhika. So as Hanumanji was flying, suddenly he felt a drag. And he felt that he was not moving forward. Rather, not only that he was not moving forward, as though some force is pulling him down. And he was also coming down. He was not able to understand what was happening because nothing was seen there. And then when he looked below, he found that there was this Rakshasi, a demoness. She was a Chaya Grahini Rakshasi. Somebody who would catch the shadow and thus catch that bee just by catching the shadow. So finally the Simhika catches hold of Hanuman and swallows him. Hanumanji tears open her heart or whatever, kills her and comes out successfully. So this is a third obstacle. And finally Hanumanji lands on Lanka. So now here 3 obstacles are mentioned, and there are varieties of interpretation given regarding these obstacles. So what was the first one? Mainaka. Second one? Surasa, and third one, Simhika. So now, because this is a spiritual class, we will give a spiritual interpretation. So we are all seekers, and we are all taken up this journey towards liberation. The purpose is happiness, peace, contentment, freedom from birth, death, etc. And that is what represented by Sita Mata. Sita represents peace. So we are all in search of peace. Absolute peace, abiding peace, permanent peace, not temporary peace. So any seeker will have these three obstacles as we take this spiritual journey. So what are the obstacles? Obstacle number one at the physical body level. That is represented by Mainaka. So what is that obstacle? The obstacle of laziness. The unwillingness to put forth effort. So the temptation is, take rest and then go. Right? You have not even started putting forth effort, before that you want to take rest. Laziness. Procrastination. The tendency to always postpone things. They all come under this. It's a tamasic obstacle. The obstacle at the body level. Not wanting to exert. This is the first obstacle. The second obstacle is experienced at the mind and the sense organs level. That is Surasa. Surasa, Sura means Devatas. Our sense organs are also called Devatas. Deva means to illumine. So Devata, that which illumines us. What do the sense organs illumine? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. The ears illumine to us the knowledge of sound. The eyes illumine to us the knowledge of color and form. In the same way, the nose, the knowledge of smell. Tongue, the knowledge of taste. Skin, the knowledge of touch, etc. So since they illumine a particular knowledge, they are called as Deva. Deva means to illumine. So Surata is sent by Devatas. So Surasa represents mind and the senses. And what is the nature of this mind or the senses? You see, in this world, we have to indulge in sense objects. For example, eating. You have to eat. But the tendency is always of this mind and the senses is to expand. Expand means what? Slowly it starts demanding more and more. More and more sense objects, varieties of sense objects. So just like that Surasa was opening her mouth, in the same way, the mind and the senses have a tendency to demand more and more of sense objects. You like something, there is a tendency to again and again indulge in that, and slowly you develop the raga, intense addiction, and then a time comes when you can't live without that. That tendency is there, inherent in mind and senses. I think there is a quote of Gurudev. Comfort comes as a guest, lingers as a host, and remains to enslave us. Something like that. So first it comes as a guest, then slowly becomes the host, and then becomes a master, and we become the slave. Right? So this is the tendency of any comfort or any. So here, what is the solution? Hanumanji became small. Means what? Minimize your materialistic needs. Simple living, high thinking should be your motto in life. Simple living. A as far as material needs are concerned, minimize it as much as possible so that you have enough time for spiritual sadhana. Simple living, high thinking, not simply living and highly thinking. Okay. So this is the second obstacle. The third obstacle is, can you guess? Simbhika. Who is she? It is our own ego. Ego. What is the nature of ego? Ego is like a shadow. Actually speaking, ego doesn't exist. What exists is Bhagavan alone. Bhagavan misunderstood is called ego. Paramatma misunderstood is what is called as Jivatma. Actually there is nothing called Jivatma. Just like a shadow, there is nothing called shadow. What is present is only light. When that light is obstructed, what seems to appear is called a shadow. Just like when knowledge is obstructed, what comes is ignorance. There is nothing called ignorance. So ego is an illusory entity which has no existence, which is born out of wrong notion, which is born out of ignorance. Paramatma plus ignorance equal to Jivatma. So who is Jivatma? Ignorant Paramatma is Jivatma. Just like who is dreamer? Ignorant waker is called a dreamer. So in the dream I see myself, but actually does he exist? No. Who is the dreamer? The dreamer is none other than the waker himself with ignorance that, what is ignorance? I don't know myself. Then dreamer is born. In the same way with Jivatma also. Right. In reality there are only two entities. One is matter, the other is consciousness. Where will you put ego? Consciousness identified with matter is what is called as ego. Okay, a better example I will give you. In the film theatre, who is the one who is crying seeing the tragic movie? There is a tragic movie and this person is crying. Now if you ask this question, who is crying? What answer will you give? The person who is crying need not cry because those problems are not his problems. Those problems are the hero's problem. Hero cannot cry. Why? Because there is no such entity there. It is just a play of light and shade. So hero cannot cry. The person who is watching movie need not cry. Then who is crying? So we say, the person who is watching movie identified with the hero, imagining that he is the hero, he is the one who is crying. Now, who is crying? An imagined entity is crying. Isn't it? It's absolutely illogical because the real identifying with the unreal, a third entity is born. The real combining with the unreal, a third entity is born. It is this third entity which is crying. Now the question is, can the real become one with the unreal? No. Real and unreal can never combine. Unreal doesn't exist, real alone exists. But then something like this has happened, which is inexplicable. So this inexplicable happening is what is called as Maya in Vedanta. You can't explain it, but you are seeing it. something which appears but actually doesn't exist. That is called as Maya. So, ego is nothing but an illusion born out of Maya, actually it doesn't exist. And now throughout our life, who is creating problem for us? This illusory, non-existent entity called ego is creating all problems for us. That is the meaning, Simhika eating the living beings. We are all eaten by Simhika. Simha means what? Lion. Who is lion? Lion is the king of the forest, right? In the same way, for our little world, who is the king? Who is the king of samsara? The ego. We are ruled by our ego in our life. Ego is the king, His Holiness, HH. This is our life. So what should you do? What did Hanuman do? Just killed. As far as Surasa is concerned, Hanumanji did not kill Surasa. Just left. But as far as ego is concerned, Simhiga, you have to just kill it. No mercy to be shown. Because all your miseries are because of this. To the extent you can efface your ego, I think so there is peace, there is happiness. Right? Shall we proceed now? Okay. So now, Hanumanji reaches the other shore. Now he wanted to have a clear view of what Lanka was. So therefore, he climbed another hill, a bigger hill than this Trikuta. What is Trikuta? The mountain upon which Lanka was situated. So he climbs a bigger hill. And the name of that hill, all those things are not mentioned here. It's called a Subela mountain. Subel. And then he starts watching what this Lanka is all about. And there he finds that this Lanka was surrounded by a huge compound wall. And the unique feature about this wall was, it was made of gold. So you can imagine the prosperity of Lanka. Even the compound wall was made of gold. And that too studded with precious stones. Hanumanji was stunned, looking at the prosperity of this kingdom. The compound wall was huge. And then he looked into that Lanka. What did he find? He found a beautiful city. A well-planned city. Lanes and by-lanes and gardens and orchards and lakes. Gymnasiums. Beauty parlors. Non-veg restaurants. I'm not joking, everything is written there. The terms are only different, that's all. So many beautiful ladies of varieties, not just human beings. Gandharvas, Nagas, Devatas, all those things. He was amazed, seeing the beauty of the city. So in today's context, we should say it was in America only there. Remember, in that list, temple was not mentioned. All these things were there. And not only that, the city was perfectly guarded by Chaturangini Sena. What is Chaturangini Sena? So in the army, if you have these four, then that is called as Chaturangini. Number one, elephants. Number two, chariots. Number three, horses. And number four, foot soldiers. So when you have these four, then that is called as Chaturangini Sena. There's a particular number and all, and then it will become Akshauhini. So in Mahabharata war, Kauravas had 11 Akshauhinis, Pandavas had only 7. So the numbers are given 65,000 horses, something like that. I think 1 lakh foot soldiers. Anyway, so this city was well guarded by this Chaturangini Sena. So then Hanumanji understood, this is not the time to enter, because it's well protected. I will enter in the night time. So he waited there. And slowly, as it entered into evening, it became dark. Then Hanumanji remembered the Lord and entered the city. Then what happened? He was caught. And remember, Hanumanji took the size of a mosquito. Not the form of a mosquito, size. He took the size of a mosquito and then entered, remembering the Lord. Even then he was caught. You can imagine how tight the security was. And who was the immigration officer? Her name is Lankini. Lankini. She was a presiding deity of Lanka. For everything there is an Adhishtana Devata. So for the Lanka, she was security officer. She caught hold of him. So, oh thief! Where are you going? You thought you can escape me? I am going to have you as my food. She came charging. What did Hanumanji do? He gave a solid punch. So strong it was that she fell down, vomiting blood, unconscious. But after some time she regained her consciousness, and then immediately she bowed down in front of Hanumanji, and then she narrates a story. Hanumanji, most welcome, the messenger of the Lord. So then she says that when Ravana was blessed by Brahmaji, so Ravana did tapas, and what did he ask from Brahma? I should never die. So Brahma said, no, that's not possible. You have to die somewhere or the other. The choice is yours. You choose. Then Ravana said, okay, I should not die at the hands of either human beings or monkeys. Brahmaji said, Tathastu. Ravana said so because he felt that these human beings and monkeys, they are very weak, so they can never kill me. So that's why he asked them to. So as Brahmaji was going, that Lankini was also there when this blessing was given. So then Lankini asked Brahmaji, such a cruel king, how long is he going to live? Rule. So at that time, Brahmaji gave an indication. See, when you are guarding the city of Lanka, a time will come when a monkey will overpower you. Understand? That is a time, no for sure, Ravana's time has come. So therefore, when Lankini was overpowered by Hanumanji, Lankini was only happy. Because that was an indication that Ravana's time has come to an end. Then Lankini says something which is very interesting. What does she say? She blesses Hanumanji. प्रभि नगर कीजे सब काज हृदय राखी कौशलपुर राज गरल सुधारी पुकरहि निताई गोपद सिंधु अनल शीतलाई. Hanumanji, always keep the Lord in your heart. Ever remember the lotus feet of the Lord, then what will happen? These things will happen in your life. Garala Sudha, poison will become converted into Sudha. Sudha means what? Nectar, Amrutam. Poison will become Amrutam. Ripu Karahimitai. Enemies will become your friends. Gopad Sindhu. The ocean will become a puddle of water. Anala Siddhalai. And fire will become cooling for you. Sumeru Redu. Even the huge mountains will become just as a dust particle for you. This is what God's grace can do. Now, what all has been said here, everything has happened in the life of Hanumanji. So now you have to compare what is that instant where this thing happened. For example, poison getting converted to Amrutam. What is that instant? This is a tricky question. Surasa. Who is Surasa? Mother of snakes. So later Surasa blesses Hanuman. You see? So there you find poison getting converted into Amrutam. Ripu Karahimitai. Enemies become friends. Who? Vibhishana. Then Gopad Sindhu, of course, crossing the ocean. So effortlessly, easily you could cross the ocean. Anala Siddhalai, fire becoming cool. When was it? When he burned the Lanka. So the tail caught fire, but Hanumanji never felt the heat of fire. It was all blessings of the Lord. Then mountain becoming a dust particle. This was that Sanjeevani episode. Yes. So whatever has been said, it has happened in the life of Hanumanji. So this way, Lankani blesses Hanumanji, and thus Hanumanji remembers the Lord and then enters into Lanka. Then what happened? He started searching everywhere for Sita Mata. He even went to the palace of Ravana, but nowhere he could find Sita Mata. He was totally lost. Then what did he do? What will Hanuman do? Remember the Lord. This is what we also have to do. See, there are so many such occasions where Hanumanji was absolutely helpless. This is one such instant. He searched and searched and searched. He could not find Sita Mata. Finally, he remembered the Lord. Bhagavan, now you alone have to guide me. Then something happened. You'll always find something will happen at that time. What happened? His attention fell upon a unique palace. That palace was more of looking like a temple with all such auspicious marks of the Lord. So there was this mark of bow and arrow, and there was this tulasi plant which was growing in front of that palace. All those auspicious marks were seen, and he was confused. How come in this Rakshasa Nagari there is an auspicious palace like this which looked like a temple? Then he was doubtful. Is it that these Rakshasa are playing a trick upon me? Is it that they have caught me spying and they are trying to, because these Rakshasas are Mayavis. They can create anything. They have these magical powers. So is it that somebody is playing a trick upon me? So he waited. Again he wanted the grace of the Lord. What actually is happening? And then suddenly another thing happens. What happens? From that palace comes the chanting of the Lord. Dehi samay vibhishano Jaga, it is said. And what did he? That was the time when Vibhishana got up. So we have to say that it was a Brahma Muhurta, early morning. And that was the time when Vibhishana got up. And what did he say as he got up? He chanted Bhagavan's name. Ram Ram Tehi Sumirana Kina Hridaya Harash Kapi Sajjana China. And when Hanumanji heard this, the chanting of Ram, he immediately understood that this has to be a holy person, a Mahatma, a saintly person. Otherwise this will never happen. You get up chanting the name of the Lord, this will never happen. And therefore Hanumanji decides to introduce himself to this holy personality. To get up early in the morning, only Sattvic people get up. What do these Rajasic and Tamasic people do? So Brahma Muhurta is somewhere around 3:30, 4 o'clock and all this. That is the time when the clubs and pubs, they close. One person wakes up, the other person shuts down. You can't enter into Brahma Muhurta with Rajas and Tamas. Just not possible. So Hanumanji understood, here is a person who is waking up. Understood that he is definitely a great man because he is waking up chanting the name of the Lord. When do you chant the name of the Lord and wake up? Only when you sleep, chanting the name of the Lord. They are deeply connected. When you sleep remembering Bhagavan, then you wake up remembering Bhagavan. Whatever the samskaras are there, fed into the mind at the time of sleep, the same samskara you wake up. So if the children, they sleep seeing ghost movies, so how will they wake up? That sleep itself will be terrible. All kinds of ghost dreams will come. You will find them screaming, yelling, etc. during the sleep. Waking up also will be with such inauspicious images. So that is why it's very important that we should tell our children to chant Bhagavan's name, do some japa before going to sleep. Not by seeing some movies, serials. Anyway, continuing. So, Vibhishana got up. Hanumanji said, I must introduce myself to this Mahatma. And so, Hanumanji took the form of a Brahmana, holy person. And then he goes there. Jai Sri Ram. Vibhishana opens the door, sees this Mahatma. Now there is a beautiful statement made by Vibhishana. Ki tum haridasan maha koi more hridaya priti ati hoi ki tum ramo dina anuragi ayahu mohi karana bada bhagi. When Vibhishana saw Hanumanji, he did not know it was Hanuman and all. He saw a Brahmana there. And you know what Vibhishana said? He said, who are you? The very fact that my heart is filled with devotion for God, just by seeing you, that itself proves that you are not an ordinary human being. You are coming in disguise. He understood. Either you are Bhagavan himself, otherwise this devotion will never come, or you are some great devotee of Bhagavan. This is pure psychology here. You see, when you interact with a peaceful person, what happens to your mind? Your mind is peace. When you interact with a disturbed person, what happens to you? You become disturbed. And when you interact with a devotee, so this is a law. Whatever we have, that only I can give to others. If I have peace, I give peace to others. If I have disturbance, I give disturbance to others. If I have money, I can give money to others. And if this person is a great devotee, what will he give? In his presence, what will happen? Devotion will increase. And that's what Vibhishana says here. I don't know why. In your presence, my heart is getting filled with devotion for God. So that itself shows that you are not an ordinary human being. You are either Bhagavan himself, who has come to bless me, or you are some great devotee like Narada Rishi, etc. Who are you? Tell me. So what does Hanumanji do? He doesn't say, I am Hanuman. Remember, he is an arrow of Bhagavan. So what will he say? How will he introduce himself? Tab Hanumant kahi sab Ram katha nijana. So how does he introduce himself? He started glorifying the Lord. He started saying Ram katha. Because a devotee is nothing other than Bhagavan. Bhagavan alone is there, filled in a devotee. So he started glorifying the Lord. He started singing the katha of the Lord. And then what happened? Sunata jugalatana pulakamana magana subiri gunagra. Both of them, Hanumanji and Vibhishana, had started standing on end. Eyes started becoming filled with tears. These are all the expressions of devotion. When devotion comes, these things happen. Horripilation, tears, the voice getting choked. And both of them started experiencing this physical signs. Both of them were immersed in devotion for the Lord. And finally, of course, Hanumanji told who actually he was. And then Vibhishana said, Sunahu pavana sutarani hamari Jimidas nahi mahu jeeva bichari. Hanuman, do you know how I am staying in this Lanka? In this terrible Lanka? Surrounded by all kinds of Rakshasas, Nishacharas. Just like, so a comparison is given here. Just like the tongue is staying amidst the teeth, so too I am staying amidst these Rakshasas. This is a comparison given. So what is the condition of the tongue amidst the teeth inside the mouth? Now and then the tongue gets bitten. Can the tongue retaliate? It has to just silently endure everything, isn't it? I remember one parting message of the great philosopher Socrates. So Socrates was dying. All his disciples, they were surrounding him. So somebody asked, "Oh Guru, please give us your parting message." You know what Socrates did? He just stuck out his tongue, stretched his tongue out of his mouth. That's his parting message. The wise ones understood. The otherwise, they did not understand what was happening. So they asked, "Oh, can you please explain?" So he said, in life, be like tongue. Don't be like tooth. Meaning what? Be humble. Be gentle. Be soft. Don't be harsh, arrogant, stubborn. Like this teeth. This is the way you have to live. Because in the beginning only tongue was, tooth was not there. In the end also, tongue will be. So in life also you must be like this. This is the parting message of Socrates. Be like a tongue. stubborn, harsh, egoistic. Yes, for some time it may appear that they are winning, they are ruling, but a time will come when all of them will have to fall down. So here, Vibhishana is comparing himself with his tongue. He's saying how helpless that tongue is amidst teeth. In the same way, Hanuman, I am staying here. And you know, one more thing. If the tongue wants, it can take revenge. What it should do? In front of a rowdy guy, the tongue has to just shower some abuses. What will that rowdy do? He will knock off all the teeth. In fact, this is what Vibhishana did also. What did he do? He went on the other side. It was literally impossible to kill Ravana because he had so many powers and secrets, etc. And this was a person who knew every secret of Ravana. There was a time when Bhagavan Ramchandra was literally not able to kill this fellow. He chopped his head so many times, but he would again come back. So it was at this time that Vibhishana said, Bhagavan, that is not the place to attack. You have to attack his heart. There you shoot the arrow. So all the great secrets were revealed by Vibhishana to Bhagavan. That's a different story, but here the context is this. So how helpless that tongue is amidst teeth. In the same way, Hanuman, I am staying in this Lanka. And then he says, Hanuman, that Bhagavan's glory which you have been singing, I am such an inferior person. Will I be eligible to receive Bhagavan's grace? Now see how Vibhishana describes himself. Tamas tanu kachu sadhana nani Priti na pada saroj manmani. Hanuman, this is my condition. I have absolutely no devotion at the lotus feet of the Lord. And where am I born? I am born in a Rakshasa Vamsha, in a demon's race. Tamasa Tanu, the very body itself is, Rakshasic in nature. Gross, extroverted, indulgent. This is the nature of Rakshasas. In such a race I am born. I am not able to do any kind of sadhana. So therefore, when I look at myself, I find that I actually don't deserve any grace. I am absolutely unqualified to receive the grace of the Lord. But at the same time, when I am seeing what is happening to me, I think that yes, Bhagavan's grace is there. What is the greatest proof? The greatest proof is you came into my life. Because I firmly believe, Binu Hari Kripa Milahi Nahi Santa. Very famous line of Sundara Kanda. Binu Hari Kripa Milahi Nahi Santa. It is without the grace of the Lord, we can never come in contact with a saintly person. It is Bhagavan's grace alone that such a saintly person like you, such a great devotee like you have come into my life. That itself shows that Bhagavan's grace is there. But when I look at myself, I find that no, I don't deserve. But when I look at things that is happening, I did not come to you, you forcefully entered into my life. That shows that Bhagavan's grace is there. So, Hanuman, please tell me, am I qualified for this grace? Will Bhagavan accept me? This was the question. So at that time Hanuman says, सुनहु विभीषण प्रभु के रीति, करहि सदा सेवक बल प्रीति. Vibhishana, understand this nature of Bhagavan. What is the nature of Bhagavan? Karahi sada sevaka bara priti. This is the nature of Bhagavan. Always he loves his devotees. As far as his grace is concerned, it is always there. And as far as his devotees are concerned, Vibhishana, it is impossible that his grace can ever stop. And you know what Hanumanji says? Hanuman says, look at me. You are at least a Rakshasa, I am a monkey. Monkey is inferior to Rakshasa, okay? Monkey is generally the food of Rakshasas. Kahahu kavan mein param kulina, kapi chanchal sabahi vidhina. You are speaking as though I am a great, born in a very high caste. No. Monkey, Parama, Kapi Chanchal. What is the nature of a monkey? Highly fickle. You can never see a monkey sitting quietly. Extremely fickle. Sabahi vidhina, inferior by all means. So if you want to abuse someone, what do you say? Monkey. The term itself is used to abuse. But Vibhishana, look at me. Though I was a monkey. The amount of grace and blessings which Bhagavan has showered upon me. And as Hanumanji said this, again, his voice became choked with emotion. Eyes became filled with tears. Because Hanumanji was a person who experienced it. Grace of Bhagavan. And then he says, Janata ho asa Swami visari, firahite kahe na ho hi dukhari. Such a great Lord is there ruling this world, which is so compassionate, which is so full of love, ever ready to accept his devotees. And a person who disregards that Bhagavan, ignores that Bhagavan, doesn't believe in that Bhagavan, naturally he has to suffer in life. What else? So this is something which all of us, have to meditate upon. Who is the creator of our suffering? Don't say Bhagavan created suffering. No. It is our own unintelligent way of living. What is unintelligent way of living? Ignoring the Lord and living. That is called as unintelligent way. Lord is like light. Suppose you ignore light and walk away from light. Where will you go? Towards darkness. Can you blame the light? Because of you I am in dark. Walk towards the light and you will be away from darkness. So these are the examples given in spiritual world. The person is sitting and crying in a dark room with windows, doors, everything closed. And then he is blaming the sun. Oh sun, because of you I am in the dark. Outside sun is there, sunlight is there, but this person is in the dark. Who has to be blamed? Can you blame the sun? No. There is something which sun is doing, there is something which you have to do. What is that which we have to do? Open the doors and windows. Sunlight is there waiting. Just allow. Isn't it? Another example given by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. So this winter, this person is shivering. There is a fireplace burning. So what should he do? Fire is giving heat to everyone without any discrimination. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. What should this person do? He has to go there. Another example. Suppose you are drowning and there is a person who is ready to help. What should we do? Stick our hand, give our hand, that person will pull you. But suppose this person doesn't give the hand and say that, see, that person is not helping. In the same way, Bhagavan is ever ready to guide us, to take us of all miseries. But there is something we have to do. And what is that which we have to do? Surrender. So throughout Bhagavad Gita, if there is one message which is again and again repeated, that is Sharanagati. Come to me, surrender unto me. I am there. Pitamasya Jagato Mata Dhata. I am the father and mother of this world. Just like the best solution for all problems for a child is father and mother. In the same way, come to me. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam praja. Mam ekam sharanam praja. Only me. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshishyami. I will free you from all miseries, disturbances, problems. Manchitta sarva durgani mam prasadat karishyasi. You fix your mind upon me, you will overcome all difficulties. Ananyas chittayanto mam yejana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktana yogakshemam ahamyam. Those people who fix their mind upon me, it is my responsibility to look after their yogakshema, to look after their welfare and well-being. It is my responsibility. In Ramayana also Bhagavan Ramchandra says, Sakadeva prapadnaya tavasmi iti chayachate abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami etat vratam mama. This is my vow. I have taken a vow. What is it? Even once if a person says, Bhagavan, I am yours, then to look after that person, it is my responsibility. Name bhakta pranashyati kaunteya pratijani name bhakta pranashyati. So these are all so many such verses are there. So the essentially in Bhagavad Gita you will find this loving advice of the Lord. Come to me, surrender unto me. And this is what we see in Arjuna also. The entire Bhagavad Gita starts after Arjuna surrendering unto Bhagavan. In the first chapter, Bhagavan was silent. Second chapter, after that famous verse of surrender. What is that famous verse? Karpanya doshopahata svabhava prachhami tvam dharma sammudhacheta yachreyasyan nishchitam brohitan me Shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Very famous verse. I think it is the seventh one of the second chapter. He surrenders, and from there Bhagavad Gita starts. So that is a symbolic representation. Let us make Bhagavan the charioteer of our life. Let him take care of our chariot. Then we will be safe. So such a wonderful Bhagavan is present, ruling this world. The one who ignores this Bhagavan, what else will be his fate other than suffering, other than misery, other than sorrow? Right, after that, he seeks guidance from Vibhishana regarding the whereabouts of Sita Mata, and Vibhishana then guides Hanumanji perfectly. How? Let us see in tomorrow. Right. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 ശ്രീരാം ജയ രാം ജയ ജയ രാം.
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 बोलिए श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ